Welcome to Hossy's Kitchen, and today we're doing something a little different. I'm not going to cook anything today. What I'm going to do is show you 5 of Hossy's favorite finds for the kitchen. And these are things that I use all the time that just seem to make life in the kitchen cleaner and easier. And if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, today we have something new for Hossy's Kitchen, and that is affiliate links. So if you plan on buying any of the things that I'm talking about here today, if you use the links in the description below, I'd really appreciate it. So let's talk about the first thing. This is a cheap plastic bench scraper, and I use it all the time. And the thing I use it the most for is getting things off of a cutting board into a bowl. So I have a bunch of chopped carrots here. You chop these carrots up. How do you get them in the bowl? Maybe you use your hands. Maybe you use the side of your knife. You get one of these things here, and you just scoop them up, and you put them right in the bowl. And it works fantastic. It also works really great. Let's say you got a bunch of stuff that you want to clean off your cutting board. You just start scraping it like that, and you can clean off your cutting board. I also use it on a countertop. Let's say you have pizza dough or some kind of dough like gnocchi or cookies even. You can use this to cut things on your countertop, and it's not going to harm any knives or your countertop. So a cheap plastic bench scraper, highly recommend you get one of these. Next up, we have a milk frother. Heather got me this for Christmas, and I love it. Usually I drink black coffee, but every once in a while I want something a little fancier. So I will heat up some milk in the microwave. You grab this milk frother, you stick it down in there, you buzz it for 20 or 30 seconds. You get some nice frothy milk to put in your coffee. It's delicious. And another use I use it for is protein shakes. You can get all your things in your big cup, and instead of getting out the big blender, just stick that down in there and it'll mix up your protein shake for you as well. So if you don't have a milk frother, they're not that expensive. I highly recommend it. The third item is going to be a juicer. And this is what I'm talking about. So let's say you have to juice a lot of limes or a lot of lemons. You can squeeze them by hand, or there's one of those things that you twist, the old-fashioned one, or you can get one of these things. And it works really great. I'll show you how to use it. You grab a lemon. I usually roll it out on the cutting board a little bit, and then you take a knife, you cut it in half, and you take the lemon, you put the cut side down just like this, and then you squeeze it like a garlic press, and all the juice comes right out. And it's a nice, easy, low-effort way to juice a lot of citrus. If you don't have one of these, highly recommend it. Number 4 is a heat-proof spatula. Aside from a knife, I probably use this more than any other tool in the kitchen. I use it all the time. And not all spatulas are the same. And this is a heat-proof one. Usually the heat-proof ones have a red handle. But some of the just baking spatulas, they can melt on you if you put them in a pan, or they get all soft. But you get one of these things. This is over 10 years old. It looks brand new. And I use it all the time. And I make a lot of scrambled eggs or eggs. It works great in a nonstick pan like that. And it also works just like a normal spatula. If you just have a bowl with frosting or whipping cream or pudding in it, just to scrape out a bowl, it works for that as well. So if you don't have a heat-proof spatula, again, they're not that expensive. You only need one. I would highly recommend you get one. And the last thing, number 5, is pre-cut parchment paper. This is a lifesaver, especially for baking. So I have a lot of quarter sheet pans and also half sheet pans. And let's say you're baking some cookies or something like that. You got to get out the big roll of parchment paper, you tear it, you cut it, it doesn't fit right. You can buy these things, they're already pre-made, and they fit right in. Bake your cookies right on there. I also use them for a lot of food prep. Let's say I've got some raw chicken. I can put my raw chicken in there, I can season it, and then take the chicken out and just take this up, crumple it up, and throw it out. So they really work great for these things, and they're made for these sheet pans. But another thing I use it for, a couple more things, is let's say you've got some chocolate, or you're cooking with a pan that's getting kind of messy. You're making chili, and you need something to set your spatula on. Just put one of these down on the countertop, put all of your utensils on that, and then when you're done cooking, you just, again, you crinkle it, you throw it away, and there's no mess in the kitchen. And the last thing, and this works great, is let's say you're shredding some cheese or some carrots. So you use this, you got your shredder down. I'm just going to use the carrots that I chopped before, but you shred them right on the parchment paper. Then you can just pick the parchment paper up just like this and transfer them right to a bowl or wherever you want to go. So it's a lifesaver. It saves you a lot of time, and it keeps things nice and clean. Highly recommend pre-cut parchment paper. And again, there's links for all these things in the description below. So These are things I find helpful. Hopefully you will too. And you see you next time on Hossy's Kitchen.